Okay, we are live. Hello, welcome to the first Merge Tribal Council of Season 16 of CTC. There's a lot to discuss and a lot to unpack, so I'm going to talk to Laura first because it's been like, I don't know, you got voted off on day 3 and it's day 15, so it's been almost 2 weeks since you got voted off. You're back in the game. Let's kind of unpack that. You went from a tribe of 6 to now a tribe of 13 and you came
Yeah.
in kind of guns a-blazing on that call. So what's your plan to not go back tonight?
Well, I tried to have conversations. It was kind of tough coming back in because I really only knew a very small subset of people out of the 13. So it was meeting a lot of people for the first time. So, it was a lot of kind of like, hey, how are you? I'm Laura. I know you've heard a lot about me, but I hope that you're willing to form your own opinions of me instead of the opinions of people who clearly don't like me or, like to spread information about me that may not be true. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous tonight. I mean, I'm definitely nervous. I'm an easy target, coming back into the game and not having those connections. So, we'll see what happens.
Um, Abby, Laura coming into the game at this point is kind of interesting because in some ways she kind of is a free agent. She's hasn't really been attached to anything. She hasn't gone through all the thousand swaps that happened. She's just kind of existing. The only thing she has really is the 5 people that voted her off at the first tribal. So, is there any benefit to her being back, her specifically being back?
No.
I knew I was going to get a good answer. Thank you. Um, Jonathan, with the swap and times 1,000, obviously everything got mixed up to all hell. So coming into this, where it's kind of a melting pot of relationships, do you see former swap relationships reforming, or is it kind of just a rebroken, reformulated, whatchamacallit?
I mean, like, it's an interesting dynamic because everybody had a different variety of swaps throughout. I mean, like, some people haven't met me, some people haven't met them. Like, I haven't met anybody from the original Nereus tribe until the last couple of days because just the way that the swaps came out. So it's like we're all forming these new relationships. We're all trying to decide if like the old relationships that we had are good or not. And it's an interesting melting pot, like you said, because who knows what is actually fact until tonight.
But one person doesn't have to worry is Jay. Jay, when it comes to the first merge immunity challenge, usually sometimes it has a stigma because that's the first time you're performing individually. Are you concerned that you won, especially with it being more of a social comp, that that might put a target on your back?
Yeah, I mean we're playing Survivor. You could breathe wrong on a call and that would be enough of a reason for people to target you. So, absolutely I think it could be something people use, but you just got to rely on the conversations you have, the bonds you've built for the 2 weeks prior to winning one comp to get you through the game. And just, put your best foot forward.
Speaking of putting feet forward, Bruce, going into tonight, this is the merge vote is usually one of the most important votes of an entire game. This is kind of sets the tone going forward. What kind of tone do you think tonight is going to set?
I don't know if there's gonna be much of a tone. I don't know. There's a very kumbaya vibe between this merged tribe, and that I think that that's partially built because of all the swaps, because of all the newness to every relationship. So everybody's still getting to know each other. So, I don't think there's a lot unless it's happening, and I'm not privy to it, which is possible. But it just feels very kumbaya at this point. and I think that that is going to change quickly. But I'm not sure how much will be revealed after this vote.
Kumbaya is definitely an interesting word with a 13-person merged tribe. So Kevin, do you think that a lot of people tonight are on the same page as to what to do?
Who know? We'll find out here in about 10 to 15 minutes, won't we? Um, I'm everybody's talked, everybody's been meeting with people and saying hi, but I very much agree with what Bruce said with because of so many I think Bruce said it, I don't remember. With so many swaps, everybody's kind of met a majority of everybody. So it's you're not coming in and icing people out because you haven't talked to them. It's everybody's at least heard of or talked with most everybody in the game. So it's hard to tell exactly where everybody's mindset is going into this vote. But like I said, we'll find out here shortly.
I'm gonna go to Wheeze next. What would you consider to be the most threatening type of player at a 13-person merge and an 18-person season? Not threatening person, just what like archetype of player?
Good question. I would say it's probably someone who is very social but not with you. How about that? Someone who doesn't talk to me, perhaps someone who maybe wants to write my name down, like the basic someone who's I would yes, scary. Scary, don't talk to me, scary, don't like that. Please go. Yes. Thank you.
Scary, please go. That's how I'm gonna talk to people now from now on. Scott, do is it possible with how things are going, if this is a kumbaya thing, that there might be a like a house majority, not to pull a Big Brother term into this, but like, do you think this kind of mentality could like steamroll, or do we think cracks are going to start forming sooner rather than later?
I mean, it's always possible, but I feel like it's too soon to tell. I guess we'll just have to find out, but I'm honestly not really sure. I kind of hope we can stay kumbaya for a little bit. To quote what I said at my very first tribal, we're all about peace, love, and happiness. So I don't know.
Brandon, if everybody sort of knows but doesn't know each other, there's this lovely like thing that we do called an advantage hunt that everyone's had access to, and now everybody's coming together. What's the likelihood that some shit could get whipped out and slung at us with tonight's vote or an upcoming vote?
I mean, you want to talk about you want to talk about likelihood. I think anything is likely to happen. Kind of like what's been said, survivor, right? Like you always got to expect the unexpected. We could have a season 46 scenario where everybody has advantages and nobody plays them. We could have a advantage get in and poor little Sari goes home because she's the only one without something, right? And so you never really know what's going to happen until it happens. But yeah, I think that is something like there's always going to be a likelihood at this or any tribal that we go to, essentially from this point forward.
It's been 7 years since that happened to Suri, and I'm still not over it. So thanks for reminding me. Eleanor,
Yes.
as we move forward into the game, obviously, at this point, everyone that gets voted off, whether or not they last on Mirage Island for a while or not, or they come back, they're going to be on the jury.
Yeah.
So let's discuss jury management a little bit. What do you think that's going to start looking like?
For me, I think the jury can
is like one of my favorite parts about Survivor because it's so different season to season. And like you can't, it's one of the only things you can't really predict how people are going to react because you don't see how they react. They leave like immediately. So it's like really scary to think about like people leaving immediately and like being upset. But I think it's also really cool because I love a bitter jury. Like that's one of my favorite things. Like I love that like you can win or lose because somebody asks you like because of like the alphabet or like a number like 1 through 100 or whatever, or 1 through 50. So yeah. I don't think you can manage a jury. I think you just have to like that's part of the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's a fair outtake or
Okay,
outlook.
cool.
Whatever word that's supposed to fill in there. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Okay.
And then I'll finish off with Riazo. Obviously there's a lot of things flowing around tonight, a lot of opinions, a lot of kumbaya, a lot of outtakes, outlooks, outwit, outplay, outlast, whatever you want to call them. Do you think, I feel like I already asked this question, so I'm going to reroute what I was going to say. Second. For your game specifically, is this a make or break night for you?
Nah, I mean, not really. I mean, I've been gone for like 8 hours, bro. Seems like a simple vote. Everybody's on the same page, pretty much. So
Okay, cool. Works for me. Does anybody have anything they would like to add, comment, like, subscribe, anything they'd like to throw in to the mix before we get to the vote? Okay, it is 10:15 right now. I'm gonna give you until 10:18 to lock in your votes. And then give me a few moments to write down 13 votes and then
what y'all make it.
What?
Karen, do your thing. I know you want to.
Oh my God, when you can't find the mute button. Okay, now, as always, is the time for the merch shout out. Give some love to your prod guest, other people. You know what it is.
I'm shouting out the conversation that Laura and I were supposed to have but never did.
And I'll shout out the McDonald's that I ran out to get that made me miss that call. So sorry.
I want to shout out Anitra from RuPaul's Drag Race because I want to walk the duck just like she does. I love me some Anitra.
I'll call up Anitra. She'll chop you in two.
I'd like
Shout
to
out to
give
my broad guest list and my lovely wife and our 3 dogs and the dog we are watching for a friend. 4 dogs in the house is too many dogs in a house. And shout out to Jeff Probst, Cast Me in Survivor, please. Thank you.
I'd like to shout out to the 4 dogs that Kevin has in his house. I'd like to shout out to Doritos Cool Original because I like them a lot and they're just enough with some salsa on. And also shout out to my husband who's asleep behind me, and that's why I'm quiet.
I'd also like to shout out to Jennifer Coolidge because Queen.
Yo, shout out to my manager for scheduling me by myself on a Friday.
Shout out to David Spade.
Shout out to my brother Alex who's watching.
Shout out to Patrick Mahomes for getting the Chiefs that dub last night.
Shout out to Kevin saying possibly the straightest thing that's ever been said on a Coast to Coast Tribal stream.
And then he dabbed.
I wasn't going to bring that part up.
Okay, millennial, bring it, diva.
Guys, look at these tiny stars I learned how to make in the psych ward. Now I just make them all the time.
Okay, tiny stars. I'd like to shout out Abby's tiny stars. And the hair flip.
Abby, what do you think about this?
I can't tell what that is.
You don't recognize this? It's the little. It's a pen from
Oh,
the
oh,
ward.
oh
I
my God,
stole
you
one.
too?
I stole
Wow.
one.
I can go get my socks too.
Girl.
That's so funny. Thank you.
Okay, Brady Bunch. Wait, does that make you Alice in the middle? I think it
What
does.
can I guess? I don't know.
All right. I have all 13 votes, which affirms that nobody put their vote into the shelter lottery this round. So that's fun. With that being said, if anybody at this time has an advantage or an idol and you would like to play it, now will be the time to do so. Okay. Once the votes are, decision is final, the person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately and will be sent to Mirage Island. First vote, Laura. Bruce, one vote Laura, one vote Bruce. Bruce, 2 votes Bruce, 1 vote Laura. Laura, that's 2 votes Bruce, 2 votes Laura. Laura, that's 3 votes Laura, 2 votes Bruce. Bruce, we're tied. 3 votes Laura, 3 votes Bruce. Bruce, that's 4 votes Bruce, 3 votes Laura. Laura, that's 4 votes Laura, 4 votes Bruce. Bruce, that's 5 votes Bruce, 4 votes Laura. Bruce, that's 6 votes Bruce, 4 votes Laura. 7th person voted out to survive the Devil's Triangle. Bruce, that's 7. That is enough. Anything you would like to say? The tribe has spoken.
I guess it wasn't so kumbaya. Good job. Well done. Very well done. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. See you later. All right. Well, I guess time will tell how kumbaya things really are, but definitely tell by the faces of some people that idea might be flying out the window real quick. So, final 12. Woo! It'll get really fun soon. It's already really fun. It'll get more fun soon. Happy merge, happy fun, happy day. Good night, America and London and Canada. I get yelled at by Jonathan. I don't say Canada.